What do you think of the next steps forward for us as a country and, as corporations? Because, the other thing is a lot of where this starts is in these corporations that need to quit promoting it. What do you think
Well,
of the next steps forward?
next step forward, we have to stop giving media so much power.
Hmm.
You give the media too much power, and 99% of the media is literally owned by Democrats,
Yeah.
corporations that have their own agenda. America, the agenda has to be America. It cannot be corporate America.
Hmm.
Everybody has an agenda. COVID, Pfizer, and them. My God, how much money did they make? How much
Too
money they
much, and they have too
now
much power because of it.
have too much power because of it. Imagine if they donated 80% of, just because they present a cure, and we took care of the homeless, we took care of this, we could have probably taken care of like 20 of the world's problems with the money they made, but
Hmm.
instead a few people were doing this. So number one, we give media too much power. Number two, we need to stop being corporate America. We need to just go back to America. Number three, we've got the wrong people in the White House
Yeah.
with their own agendas.
Hmm.
Listen, I'm a fan of President Trump. I am. I liked the numbers when he was in there, but and I'm not gonna let anybody off. But you got to act more presidential. You can't act like a billionaire.
Hmm.
That thing is 99% of the time he's right, but he goes about being right the wrong way,
Right.
which stirs the pot. You
Hmm.
know, the days of the Reagan, they're over. You can't tell
Hmm.
people to shut up. You can't. Here's the thing: you could, because back in the day, Reagan would tell people to get the hell out of the press conference, and Secret Service would tell them to leave.
Hmm.
Nowadays, it's you can't do this, you can't do that. We need to go back to the old ways where there are ramifications, and there's going to be punishment if you're not doing it. That's the thing. Everybody's so quick to pick. And here's another thing: next time you see somebody in trouble, fucking put down your phone and help them instead of
Right.
filming. All these fights and shit you see, people were filming this to try to get
Hmm.
famous
Yeah.
on these platforms, which none of you will. Even if you go viral, I've gone viral twice. It brings you no money. It brings you nothing but a bunch of haters that are coming and doing shit. Put your phone down and help people out. You know, this is what I've noticed with America. Something catastrophic has to happen for us to come together for a split second.
Hmm.
Twin Towers, flags were back out.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, they're destroying George Bush. Uh,
Hmm.
he did I think he did a great job of getting everything done.
Yeah.
It's easy to point the finger when you're sitting back and you don't have a clue what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Well, and most people don't have any idea as to I mean, they hardly have an idea of what's going on that is out there for people to know. But then there's tons of stuff that's not even out there for us to know that we don't know what kind of decisions they're making based on what knowledge and what, data they have. Yeah.
How do we make the country better? Stop the mail-in voting.
Hmm.
I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, that's just, you know, you don't need any proof, but yet
Yeah.
when I go to the library, I need to show proof with a, come on, it makes sense. Somebody
Yeah.
just sat around and said, you know what, we're never going to win. And that's the thing. Now the Democrats have figured it out, but the
Hmm.
Republicans will never take the low road. They always try to take the high road. And this is what I'm
Right.
going to tell you, America. The high road is not the road that's going to get you anywhere these days. I mean, it sucks.
Well, and that's not a good place to be.
It's
Yeah.
not a good place to be.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah. The I, I was listening to something the other day, and it was talking about how we're kind of headed for a change in the political climate, and not just the climate, but in the people we're voting into office. And I think something that this person said was, we need to get elitists out of public service and quit letting the billionaires, because I mean almost everybody that is that ends up in the White House as far as presidential candidate goes is they're independently wealthy, and they are running their portion of the country wherever they are, and then they get an opportunity to run the country. I feel like getting away from that and handing the presidency, not handing it, but voting for people that are not elitists, but people that are blue collar workers that are smart and you know uh, have a well based knowledge in politics and whatnot is, I mean, kind of a fix for that as well, or one of the fixes. That it's going to take a lot more than that, because people then, of course, get corrupted by power. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a few military personnel that I'd like to see run this country, you know, and I don't care if they're male or female. So I don't care if they're white or black. That doesn't matter. Condoleezza Rice, she would have been great. I mean, there's some people out there that could have done an amazing job because they understand the intricacies of America and what we're about. They don't have their agenda, you know, like I think President Reagan, you know, his agenda was America. I really think Donald Trump's agenda was America. I mean, he's, you know, he's one of the few presidents you see in 30 years that still pulls out money and tips people. Like, you know, when there's people to do that.
Well, he ran it like a business, which is what it needs to be run.
Which is how this country needs to be run. It needs to be run like a business. And hey, listen, love him or not, pardon my language, the Trumpster has, you know, a great fucking track record. And I mean that with all due respect. That's the kind of people I want in office. Not a guy who's been in office for the last 30 years and who hasn't done jack shit. You know, now
things have just gotten worse, you know, and he can barely form a sentence to begin with. So,
you know, we cut off oil here, right? We're paying astronomical. The things that we are doing are literally, we are slicing this country and we're bleeding out. It's only a matter of time before no tourniquet's going to stop it. And that's when we're at our weakest, where China or someone's going to come in, and they're already coming in from the South, you know? It's horrible. And normally I don't talk about this stuff on podcasts because I know there's always kind of backlash, but wake up, America, you know? And that's the thing. People still think, listen, if Joe Biden went in office and he would have done a great job with America, I mean, a great job, and he had the skill set and he made the world a better place, I may even have voted for him again, but he didn't.
Right.
But same thing. If President Trump went in, I've voted for President Trump and he did a shit job, I wouldn't have voted for him again. But he did a good job. He just did things that were not presidential. Like, and I get it, you know, that's his personality. I know he's good friends with Kid Rock. You know, he says what he needs to say and does what he wants to do, but he loves to stir the pot. Sometimes silence is deafening. Like, you know, there's been times where he's just taken the high road and like they're trying to dig him and he's like, what proof do you have? And they have nothing. So we need to stop treating America like a fucking Jerry Springer show and start.
That's exactly what it's become.
And start treating it like a documentary of this was the greatest nation on the planet. And if we don't change, it's not going to be. We're getting run over. I'm telling you, China is running us over. They're coming, you know, the spy thing they had, the balloon. Dude, let me tell you what. Do you honestly think if Trump was in office, that thing would have flown as high?
No.
That thing would have been gone the second that he got the word, just blow it up. I don't care where it is, blow it up. And that's exactly what should have happened. Unknown entity, they knew what it was. It traveled, it collected data. That thing should have went away immediately. God only knows, you know, what was transferred back to China. Horrible.
It is.
And what did we do to what was the ramifications of that? What did we do? I don't know.
I don't think we did anything.
They blew it out of the sky and they said, oh, that great job, it's over with. But what did they get?
China should not have been let off easy for that. No.
You know, there's some issues. I would have increased trade tax. I would have hit them where it hurts. President Trump would have. President Trump knows he would have drained every damn penny. So they literally would have wished they never did that again. But what did we do? Nothing.
Well, we become a doormat with the people we have in power right now.
And I want to make this very clear. I love America. I just don't love what America is becoming. I you know, back in the day, man, the things that we are tolerating, we would not tolerate. I mean, don't even get me started. You know, little girls can have their breasts cut out. The things it's not okay.
We need to be building stronger men, stronger women, and stronger families too.
For the future, because I don't know what the future is right now. I mean, recruitment for the military, guys dressing up like girls because recruitment sales are down. And here's a news flash. Fucking Bud Light just tried that. How'd that go for them? Horrible. There are a million fucking other people they could have put on that can. And listen, listen, Rosa Parks, first one it took, you know, the beast. Martin Luther King. I don't care what color you are, did amazing things.
Hmm.
There are all these amazing people. Hell, put an amazing athlete that's done things on a can. Put
Hmm.
a president on a beer can.
Well, and that should have been an insult to strong women that have been successful.
That's the thing. There's amazing women out there. There are a billion other women that could have been on there.
Yeah.
This is just like, who was it? Bruce Jenner.
Hmm.
One year he got Woman of the Year. Are you shitting me?
Right.
There are a million women out there that are doing so much and they're not getting the recognition that they deserve,
Hmm.
because we have people that think it's brave to be born one way and change your ways, which is fine. But then you try to make us drink through the garden hose. That's what society should be. That's not what society should be.
Yeah.
It should be, like when we didn't have these issues growing up as kids. I'm 51. And listen, I have friends that are gay. I have friends that are lesbians.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't mean you treat them differently as
I
people.
don't treat them different, and they
Right.
don't treat me different. They don't tell me their ways right. I don't tell them my ways right.
Hmm.
I respect them. They respect me.
Yeah.
And that's how the world should be. Instead of having less than 7 or 14% of the world that's categorized as this, and this, trying to run the other 86% of the country.
Hmm.
That's the problem we're having.
Yeah.
We are letting the few run the many.
And
That's
we're
not
becoming
what-
pushovers and not speaking up either. We're not speaking up to these problems that are out there. And the right side is conservative, right? So they're quiet about things. They're conservative about how they voice their opinion. And the other side that is, they're just louder on social media. They're louder in the media in general. And that's the narrative. So they're pushed out even more. We've got to start speaking up more against these problems.
I agree. But when you do that, what are you? Racist, sexist, a bot? You're
Right.
this. You're
It
an
makes it
ist.
hard.
You're always an ist, right? You're an ist. That's
An
the
ist.
problem. You're an ist. You're an ist. Whatever.
Uh-huh.
Just you're something that's an ist.
Yeah.
That's the word now. You're racist. You're biased. You're this. You're that. I'm like, I'm just talking to you. Like you can't even have a conversation with someone if they don't agree with you. Like if someone doesn't agree with me, great.
Yeah.
But if I don't agree with them, they can continue. Like, but you're wrong. No. That's what's so great about America. We're allowed to have our values, opinions, right? But everybody is trying.